Hey everyone, welcome to Coaching Changes Lives. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a brand new thing. So many people have been asking, why is it that when I talk to someone, they always seem to have a very different perspective from what I have? And when you have a conversation with your friends or with your colleagues or with your clients, have you ever wondered why is it that when both people are seeing the same thing, but yet they don't quite see the same thing, right? It's the same object, but they both don't see the same thing. And it may be something that they have seen before, but they're always looking for that brand new object, always looking for that shiny unicorn, the brand new thing. And they're always pursuing something like that. And why is that so? Well, in today's episode, we're going to unravel that, and I'm going to share with you one principle that's going to change your perspective in conversation. So, welcome to Coaching Changes Lives. Every single week we come to you with brand new videos. So we're going to discover about how you can improve your conversations and how you can use these tricks, these strategies, these tactics to really improve the conversations you have with your clients as a coach, as a professional, as a trainer, as a speaker, whichever. Every one of us use conversations all the time. So my hope and my aim is that in this whole in series of episodes that you hear, is that we help you to gain some new perspective of conversations, and hopefully you can gain some insights as well. So today we're going to talk about this term. It's called Neoteric, right? So if you're new to our channel, do remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button, because we have exciting contents that's coming up to you. And if you'd like to hear new contents and new concepts, or if there are topics that you would like us to get into, do let us know, and do message us, leave a comment behind, so that we'll be sure to create some of those exciting videos. So this concept called Neoteric Principle, what on earth is that, right? So many people have asked me, why is it that when we look at things, all of us have different perspective. Sometimes when you talk to our clients, and it seems like it's the same thing, but they seem to come back to the same problems again and again and again. Or they would often say, hey, coach, is there something, is there a brand new technique that you can try on me? Coach, is there a new strategy or new pattern you can work on me, because that doesn't seem to be working, this doesn't seem to be working, and oftentimes we always hear this, right? It's something old again. Can we have something brand new, something new? So as human beings, we are always in this pursuit of finding that something new. But reality is this, right? Sometimes in life, it's not about getting something new again, but it's about refreshing what was once new. So think about this. In the clothing line, in the apparel line, we all know one thing is really true, right? Trends repeats itself. So for example, last time, wearing like suits and gowns and thick clothings and long trenches are something really exciting, and baggy pants is something really exciting. But as time shifts, as trends shift, people say, hey, oh, that's a thing of the past, right? And introducing skinny pants, skinny jeans, and now the trend is shifting again. Now we're going to go for something more loose fitting, something more a different trend of style, and most likely we'll go back to something baggy again, and it'll go back again. So there's nothing brand new in the textile industry. There's nothing brand new in the fashion industry. Fashion stylists will tell you it's about making creative use of the new processes, new concepts, and refreshing some of these ideas. And what on earth is this? So in the same way, conversations and when we deal with our clients as well, sometimes it's not about trying to create something new again. Sometimes it's not about chasing this technique or that technique. So often coaches tell me, oh, I'm going to attend this program because this program is going to teach me a brand new technique, or that program is going to teach me something brand new, or this one is going to teach me something new, or that's something exciting. So they're chasing after all those unicorns. So oftentimes I would say, hey, if you chase after all the unicorns, guess what you get? Well, you get no unicorn, because you're just running after each unicorn, and every unicorn will run away from you. So the one rare thing that we need to understand is this principle called the Neoteric Principle. So what on earth is the Neoteric Principle? So Neoteric basically means something new, brand new, modern. So neo is the word for new, young, freshness. So the Neoteric concept has been around for many decades. In fact, many hundreds of years. It has been used many years ago, and it has lost its way in the English vernacular, in the English dictionary. And what I love in the process of coaching people, in the process of educating coaches around the world, is to share with them this first principle. It's called the Neoteric Principle. Let me read to you what it means, and what I think it means, really. So it is experiencing events in our lives in a brand new way, welcoming in the Neoteric into our conversations allows us to see things from a new vantage point, immersing ourselves in the feelings of newness, awakened senses that has been dulled by time, hearing the resounding voice of the refreshing in the mundane. And the Neoteric Principle allows us to pause and change the lenses of staleness to the creativity of colors to bewilder and inspire. And that to me, it's what Neoteric is. And when people say, Neoteric, well, what on earth is Neoteric? Is it a brand new thing? No, it's not. In fact, it is something for us to refresh our lenses, to change our lenses a little bit. And when we look at something for, a countless of times, how can we see it differently? How can we look at things from a different new perspective? For example, many things that really shocks us, many things that really surprise us, many things that seems creative are actually a invention or take or what we call a new take at a certain object. Think about this in culinary cuisines as well. There's always a new take. Sometimes we call it deconstruction of a particular dish, and you reconstruct something brand new from it as well. So it's not necessarily a brand new thing, right? We're not trying to create something brand new, but it's about saying, hey, how can I make this refresh? How can I make this something fresh again? In conversations as well, I always tell coaches, I say, hey, if you're having 10 sessions with your client and every single sessions you're coming there with a same structure, a similar pattern, guess what? Your client can predict how you're going to ask, right? So the next time around, you're going to ask a standard set of questions. Oh, the client knows that you're going to start off with asking what's the outcome. You're going to end off with, okay, what's the way ahead? What's the way forward? And you see, that loses the humanness of conversation. The great thing about conversations is that it's always fresh. So in my practice is this: when I'm having a conversation with someone, I always like to keep it fresh. So in my mind, I'm always thinking, okay, how can I try this from a different angle? How can I try this from the other angle? So when I'm reading books, when I'm watching videos, hearing audio tapes, I'm always thinking, how can we take this from a fresh perspective? Right? I've heard all this said again and again and again. How do we say it in a different way? How do we say it in a more exciting way? How do we say it in a way that's refreshed, in a way that's relevant to this generation? So think about this, right? So sometimes coaches love to use the coaching school's language. For example, this is what I always hear, right? Typically, coaches will say, okay, if this doesn't make sense, feel free to push back. Push back. Yes, it's a term that we use, but in the younger generation, to push back, it's not really commonly used, especially in this part of the world, in Asia. Not many people use the word pushback or the phrase pushback in a conversation. So then how do we adjust that? How do we change it? How do we refresh that? Well, there are many ways. Rather than saying pushback, we could say, hey, if this conversation doesn't really make sense, feel free, to let me know your thoughts. Feel free to share me your ideas and what thoughts do you have, right? I would love to hear your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts. Does this make sense? Does it not make sense? So the Neoteric Principle, it's one of the underlying principles that makes conversation exciting, that makes conversations thought-provoking. It's the same set of things, but seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things from a new angle. So I give an example. Recently, I was conducting a coaching program, and I was telling coaches about, what is it like to build performance. And many people think of performance as just, scaling up performance. And, it's just, performance is all about, going there for added performance. But I say, hey, no, think about this. Performance is not really about just performing all the time, because you run out of energy. So how do you sustain that performance? How do you maintain the performance? So they were expecting me to give them some philosophical answer and something that's going to blow their mind. But I say, hey, think about this. What you need, it's for performance. It's not about always staying at 100%, because we know that even the top performers, they are not at 100% all the time. Their state may be, the mindset may be, but there are times what we call the humanness of life that may come in, and then the state is not sustainable for a long period of time. Even athletes tell you they cannot be performing at 120% of the time all the time. So what happens is why we have the basal state. The basal state is where we are acclimatized to at a particular state. So that state becomes maybe our 80%, a 70%, which is sustainable for a long period of time, and we can sustain that for periods and periods of time. So think about this: if we are running a sprint, right, 400-meter race, can we maintain that speed for 1 kilometer? No, we can't. So really, life is a journey like a marathon. So we need something that can sustain us, for different legs of the race, and then measure that. So the Neoteric approach becomes, okay, so how do I refresh this? How do I help my clients see things from a new perspective? How do I help them to refresh? They have seen things the same thing again and again and again and again, and they know exactly how to get there. So how do I help them see from a fresh angle? So 3 things you can consider. 1, it's what they're seeing. Number 2, what are they hearing? Number 3, what are they feeling on the inside? So these 3 components are going to be very essential for you. And the fourth one, what I love to call the fourth dimension of things, is that what the experiences that's evolving around them. So these things are things that's surrounding them that they can experience, that puts them in the place where they experience a brand new thing. So the Neoteric Principle will help us understand, hey, conversations are not just still, conversations are not just boring, but conversations can be exciting. Conversations can be refreshing. Communications can be exciting and refreshing. Why? Because of the way we use words, because of the way we think about how we phrase words. And think about this, right? When was the last time you heard and enjoyed a conversation with someone? Was it because of the was it because of the age, or was it because of the way they say things? It's not something brand new, but because of the way they say things, it refreshes our mind, our perspective to things. So this one principle will help you become a better speaker, help you become a better coach, a trainer, a leader. Because really, leadership is all about influence. Coaching is also about influencing. Speaking is also about influencing. And our ability to influence someone, it's when we can capture their attention by using a brand new modern approach, the Neoteric Principle. So if you like this episode, do remember to leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts about this Neoteric Principle. And I would encourage you to try them out in your practice, try them out in the conversations. And if it went well, great, let me know in the comment section. If you'd like to share me your other thoughts and and you'd like to challenge on these principles, I would love to hear from you as well. And if you love these videos and would love to receive more of them, do remember to subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to seeing you in our upcoming videos.